Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Sunday Night Rants with me, as always, just Mike. And to my right tonight, we have the Japanese guru, Mr. Phil. And want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day, including, as always, Mr. Bad Karma is not here. He is out and about with his family, and happy Father's Day to him and his. As well as you too, Phil, you and your dad and your family and everybody. Happy Father's Day and everybody out there in TV land and podcast land or whatever. I want to say that first and foremost. And how the hell is everybody doing tonight?
All right.
All right, cool. So we had Clash of the Castle last night or yesterday. We also had two GCW shows and a third one today. And we also had the G1 Climax. And we also have another big important thing to talk about as well. A lot of shows happening next week. In the East Coast area and all that. So, speaking of which, you said you watched a little bit of the G1 Climax and El Desperado.
It wasn't the G1 Climax though, but they're getting right. They just announced the G1 Climax,
right?
And I also found out Konosuke Takeshita will be entering the G1 Climax this year. Oh, Jake Lee of Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah. And AJ Styles is taking on Mary Fuji and Noah.
Oh yeah, and Omega. I mean, not Omega. If I'm correct, it was Ospreay wrestled him at Noah at the end of last year.
Yeah, which is really cool too. I'm a big fan of Ospreay. Everybody knows I love Will Ospreay. I think Ospreay is probably one of the most talented human beings on the face of this earth. I mean, hands down. But
that's where all I did was joke around with my say that Punk is fragile and everything because he wouldn't last long. And these guys got so bad. Apparently someone called me a 600-pound Gandalf. It was back when I had my long beard.
Nah.
I was like 250 something. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Let them have it. Let them have it. I've been called a clown by somebody.
I don't deal with that bullshit.
Dude, I've been called a clown for so many times, and an idiot, and a mark, and
Mark, all because I worship the Cucamonga kids. I don't like when I found out I was like you watch Jim Cornette, so block.
There you go. And I'd like to take this time to talk about W Energy Drink.
W,
yeah. And to get the code, I think it's 10% off Ringside Rants. Ringside Rants 10% off, something like that. 10% off Ringside Rants, something like that. Whatever. Okay. But yeah, in all seriousness, I want to thank everybody that tunes in and hangs out with us. I really do. But you posted something really cool about not your podcast, but on your wrestling group about someone won the cage match.
Yeah, it was El Desperado won won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Show of the House of Torture.
Okay.
In a steel cage match. This is the second steel cage match that New Japan has had twice this year. They normally don't do steel cage matches, because even when they do, they're more brutal and stuff. The last steel cage match I saw with them made Hell in a Cell look like a puppet show.
Yeah.
Because the last cage match I had before that, it was the United Empire versus the Bullet Club War Dogs, and Alex Coughlin, his career ended, got a really bad neck injury where he basically had to throw in the towel for his career.
Yeah. We're going to be doing some crazy stuff here lately, man, and we're going to be talking about, I don't know, what did you think of Clash of the Castle? Did you watch any of it?
No, I didn't, unfortunately, and kind of glad in there. I was kind of furious about what happened when Punk interfered with Drew and everything. That's why I made that Facebook comment. I did it out of spite, just to piss people off.
It happens.
It was bad because I really wanted Drew to win that belt and everything, and in home country. And it's just I'm surprised they made that most of those guys in WWE made it out alive because I was watching backstage videos where they were calling CM Punk CM cunt, CM cunt, CM cunt. And I feel bad for my fellow Scotsman. I wanted Drew to win and everything, man. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, he deserves to win. I agree. Also, CM Punk said at the presser too that as long as he is still in that company in the WWE umbrella, as long as Drew McIntyre is still under that umbrella as well, that he will never hold gold in the company, ever.
Apparently, they're building a storyline and everything, for what I heard.
It's really big, dude. It's almost bloodline level esque. Like, I mean, it's really good.
What I've seen though, they're basically is leading up to. Apparently, they're thinking about bringing back the pay-per-view Bad Blood.
Wow, that'd be good.
And they're thinking about making that. You know, when I did research about it, like, oh yeah, they're building up a Hell in a Cell match with Punk and Drew.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be cool. Dude, we're never really scheduled to be on Sunday nights. And here we are doing it. I mean, I've been trying to bring us to do more content, more craziness. And I know today's Father's Day. And
I just want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and everything, for those of you watching and everything. I'm a cat dad, so happy Father's Day to me. If you guys don't know what I mean, I'm eating some fried chicken.
I have a puppy. So, I mean, ain't a puppy.
You're a dad dog. So.
Yeah, my dad dog. Yeah. Dog dad, whatever. Yeah. Did you want? Well, you sent me the Hey EW with RJ City today too.
That was hilarious, man.
Dude, he said some off the wall. Well, he always says some off the wall stuff. But whenever he said this is the gang that bangs, dude, I was like, really, bro? He's like, I think I might be fired. And I'm like,
I'm surprised. Oh, people are still talking about what happened with Nigel McGuinness last night in Collision, where he said, no, basically calling Brian Dixon that he's not vegan because he's been eating brie.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, and
I don't think it's controversial though. I find it kind of funny because if you maybe talk about the brie cheese.
Yeah, and then he was also talking about well, they did say brie cheese on commentary, and then he talked about Tony's tits and Mina's melons.
Well, he always sends for Mariah as well.
Well,
he's like a modern day Jerry the King Lawler and Bobby the Brain Heenan. That's what I love about him as color commentator.
Dude, he's something else, man.
He's up there with Dino Gambino.
I'm a big fan of Nigel, and I think he should stay as color commentary. I think honestly he should be on Dynamite. It should be him, Taz, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone should be on Collision with Excalibur and Nigel.
I swear, when I see Tony Schiavone and like Nigel McGuinness, I see great chemistry between them. It kind of reminds you of Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan type of energy. This is energy we have not seen in like 30 years.
Dude, it's epic, man. And he says,
"Will you stop it?"
He's right there at that edge, man. Like everybody, dude. I heard people were wanting his job for the stuff he was saying last night. And I'm like, why, dude? Why would you want to? People are like, I wonder if he had the okay to say what he said before he.
This is TV 14. He had the okay to say it. Plus Tony Khan,
it's Nigel, man. It's Nigel fucking McGuinness.
Nigel McGuinness. He's always been controversial, especially back when he was in Ring of Honor. If you have Honor Club, go back to some of the Ring of Honor, the early Ring of Honor videos back with Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness. You'll see that. You'll see Kevin Kelly was a lot better with the Ring of Honor than currently we saw with him with Collision. Because he was very limited when it came to Collision and everything. Like he was like Kevin Kelly was repressed and everything. I can see why he's suing. I can understand why he's suing AEW. I don't blame him.
Dude, I'm not going to get into that because I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know about it either, but he has whatever's going on, fair enough.
Speaking of other things happening in the world of us, we have a big announcement for June 25th. All I'm going to say is we have in my opinion, one of the greatest valets of wrestling. I'm not even going to say what type of wrestling, just wrestling in general.
It's a little bit sort of the extreme, but like the alternative to the extreme.
Yeah. I mean, she turns it up a notch, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, she's a very, very charismatic person. And I did say she.
You probably seen her on Dark Side of the Ring. That's all I could say.
Yeah. And she'll be on June 25th, and we will be talking with her live. So we'll be going live a little earlier. I'm happy about that. And it's going to be intense, brother. It's going to be a little intense. I'm excited for how we're going to do this. I really am.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, man.
It's going to be intense. And no stretch of the imagination, it's going to be there. I mean, it's there.
Oh, yeah.
But I would digress and say that, she's hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's what I've seen. I'm
yeah,
going to
very
see more stuff later.
Yeah. And so, with that being said, we're going to move on from that. I watched.
So you watch any of the GCW shows this weekend? I heard one of the guys finished his story with Viva Van this last night.
Oh, you must be talking about the man like Derice, man.
Yes, he finally finished his story with Viva Van, and he finally got stink faced.
Well, the thing,
Viva Van.
Before that happened, he had to wrestle Alley Catch at Lights Out in Golden, Colorado, or Denver, Colorado, whatever you want to call it. And Jimmy Lloyd wrestled. Who did he wrestle?
I know Danhausen wrestled one of
Jimmy Lloyd. It was Jimmy Lloyd. Yeah, Danhausen wrestled Jimmy Lloyd. Good match.
Oh yeah, he cursed him too.
Yeah, because they were saying pretty nice, pretty evil, pretty nice, pretty evil, and chanting Danhausen, and he goes, "Curse you!" And then he went, "Woo, woo, woo." He goes, "No, fuck that!" And he attacked him, dude, and it was a really good match. It was, and Dave Prazak said he still hasn't perfected radio silence, and he hasn't. Everybody he hits radio silence with kicks out. So no knock on Jimmy Lloyd. Jimmy Lloyd will also be in contesting next weekend in New Jersey at X Brand Wrestling.
I also heard Jordan Oliver wrestled Mance Warner.
Yeah. That was Friday night because last night he wrestled Joey Janela.
That was a banger.
Dude, it was insane. So the Ultraviolent X Brand Wrestling takes place June 23rd, 2024 at the Shelter in Howell, New Jersey. The doors are opening at 11:30. Bell time's at noon. BYOB, $25 at the door. The death match, dream match, Light Tubes Massacre has Jimmy Lloyd taking on Drake Younger, man. What do you think about that shit?
That's some good shit.
Who do you think is going to win that? Who do you think is going to win that match? I just out of curiosity, who is going to win that? Younger or Lloyd? Lloyd has. You think Lloyd
or Younger? Who knows?
I mean, Lloyd really hasn't been winning that much in GCW, man. So it just seems like Drake Younger is a Combat Zone veteran, man. I mean, he's CZW through and through. Oh, yeah. And now he's wrestling for X Brand Wrestling. And also he wrestled for XPW for a while too. And then he broke his back and he got hurt really big. And that was last year. But now he's back wrestling, and now it's with X Brand Wrestling. I think his very first match back was April. I'm sorry, April of last year, April of this year. So, and then there's another big match happening, which I don't know.
Apparently, and Edmund declined your request to join Outlaw Mud Show Wrestling.
Yeah, you declined it.
And Edmund declined mine.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
All right, send me the I guess you send me the rejoin later after the show.
I will. I'll send it to you later. I don't know why they approved mine then. I have no reason why they approved mine and declined yours.
You asked me
No.
to join, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I guess that was probably I didn't answer any questions or anything.
Well, you should have answered the questions, Phil.
I didn't know.
You should answer questions, Phil. Yeah. You better answer the questions, man, to be accepted into the Outlaw Mud Show page, bro. That's how we do things over here. That way you can be part of the cool kids club. And the X Brand Wrestling World Championship title match is between the champion, the boss, Christian Ross, and he's challenged, and the person challenging him is Neil Diamond Cutter. And for the first time ever, Danny DeManto versus Malcolm Monroe
This
III.
is the private group, right?
Huh?
Outlaw Mud Show Wrestling.
Yep.
Well then, I answered the questions this time.
Good. About time you did.
Damn
And
right.
Jimmy Chondo Lion versus Hardcore. Jake Manley versus Liam Black. The Deep Creek Syndicate versus Creamy World Order to CWO. I don't know how I feel about that. Dangerously Creamy Tag Team match. I don't know how I feel about that.
Dangerously Creamy Tag Team match.
Yeah. Kamikaze versus Anthrax. And then the PWA Deathmatch Championship Barbed Wire Massacre is between Alex Stretch as the champion versus Kevin Chaos.
I think I've heard anything else before. Hasn't he wrestled in GCW before?
Who?
Kevin Chaos.
I think he has, man. I think he has.
Oh yeah. The 34 blocks has been G1 Climax 34 blocks have been announced, by the way. Oh. And I'm gonna get the names of the list and everything. I'm gonna try to
find before you do that, let me finish this up. Swing for the Fences death match. Jesse Daniels versus Low Life Louie. And I think that's all of them. And it's going to be hosted by Creepy Pinky.
I think Creepy Pinky, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, she's an amazing announcer, promoter type person. So yeah. But I digress. But that is happening on June 23rd, next weekend, next Sunday. There's also other shows happening that same day. There's an XPW show, Look What You Made Me Do. And there's another show happening there as well. I don't know the name of it exactly, but I do know that there's another show there.
I wouldn't mind to do a review of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
The X Brand Wrestling is Project X Deathmatch House Party. That's what and there's an H2O show too. And I don't know who runs the H2O show.
Man, that's going to be pretty brutal, man.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
It's going to be pretty badass.
Well, I mean, dude, for $25, dude, you get to see two of the greatest wrestlers in deathmatch history. You get to see Jimmy Lloyd and Drake Younger.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's to the point now where everything that's happening in wrestling on every aspect, not just deathmatch wrestling, not just Outlaw Mud Show wrestling, but mainstream wrestling around the board, everything is being hyped up so much better. Everything's on the rise, man. Everything's coming up.
I know, especially we got SummerSlam coming up. We also have the G1 Climax coming up and the Forbidden Door coming up.
Dude, it's wild, bro.
Man. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
It really, truly is.
All right,
go ahead.
So I'm going to announce the 18 wrestlers that have been announced for G1 Climax. On Block A, we got Tetsuya Naito, Shota Umino, aka the Shooter, Shingo Takagi, who will also be in the Forbidden Door this on the end of June. Sonata, former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, The Great Okan, Zack Sabre Jr., Gabe Kidd, Evil, and Pro Wrestling Noah's Jake Lee. Now on Block B, we got Hiroki Goto, El Fantasmo, Yota Tsuji, Jeff Cobb, Hinade, David Finlay, Ren Narita, Yuya Umura, and also AEW's and former DDT's Konosuke Takeshita.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome.
Speaking of DDT wrestling, GCW is going back over there to Cork and Hall, and they're wrestling with DDT. No, they're wrestling with DDT again over there.
Dude, that's perfect, man. I even seen Minoru Suzuki do a DDT show where they were wrestling on a bullet train.
Dude, that was a fantastic match, bro.
It made mainstream American news and everything.
It did.
So popular.
It was insane, bro. Minoru Suzuki, well, DDT wrestling, the people who own DDT are they're changing the game platform for wrestling in Japan, dude. They really are.
They're a hybrid of like strong style and sports entertainment.
And deathmatch.
That too. They're basically a combination of everything. If you want your regular strong styles technical wrestling, they got it. If you want your comedy sports entertainment wrestling, they got it. If you also want your hardcore brutal deathmatch wrestling, they got it. They
got everything, man. They have everything. And some of their deathmatch stuff is kind of comedic too.
Oh yeah, they were I think if I remember correct, Minoru Suzuki wrestling one of those riding a bicycle. I saw that. I was laughing my ass off at that. Dude, they were the ones that used Legos.
Yes, they were the first ones to use Legos. And there's another thing that I recently saw, man.
They inspired WWE to use Legos.
Man, I seen something.
Thumbtacks, but they're still pretty effective.
Yeah, I've seen something that no one has ever used. Well, I take that back. It hasn't been used in a long, long time. The paper.
Ooh, paper cut. I've seen that a long time ago, back in the early days of pro. Back when I was a kid and everything. I've seen it in WWF, EC. They even use it in ECW and WCW.
Mm-hmm. The old paper cuts, man. I remember those.
They're not made to be as brutal, but they're pretty effective, though.
Pretty effective.
They still give you the fans that wrestling shows you sometimes less is more, like the Lego.
And then you also have the staple gun as usual.
Oh yeah, it makes me think of Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, yeah.
Now last time I checked, he was working as a security guard over in England.
Wow, they let him do things?
I'm surprised. He has a job.
I'm trying to for our W Energy stuff.
Buy the energy drink. We're sponsored by W.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did our dude do a thing?
There you go. W is 10% off for Ringside Rants. Looking for at Ringside Rants for W.GG.
Yeah. Hey, did your dude ever get us free shaker? I mean,
I would like to get a free shaker one day. No, Genghis. No, I haven't heard from him yet. He's probably gonna get it pretty soon. He told me he's got it. Just he hasn't told he's got it yet or not.
Okay, cool. Well, I know he had to buy something to get the free shaker.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, small print. Sorry, that's.
Speaking of purchase, I actually got me a new giant Batman mouse pad for my keyboard and my mouse.
Awesome.
I don't need it because, like some better padding,
That way you can rest your arm on Batman's torso? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, it's just the Batman symbol. It's the Dark Knight symbol.
You had to specify there, Phil. You had to specify.
It's the Dark Knight Christopher Nolan trilogy sample. The Dark Knight trilogy symbol.
That's cool. That's awesome, actually.
It's one of my favorite. It got me into reading the Batman comics again. So that's what I loved about it. Tell me more about the details, the storytelling, and everything. Like what they used. I liked how they used Batman Year One, and I'm going off subject now. Fuck.
You're good, brother. You're good. Hey, man, this is what it's about, man. Speaking of off the subject, kind of a little bit. Here soon, we'll be hopefully being able. Well, hopefully we are going to the Carnage Cup.
Yes, we are in October. I already have those days. I have those days off, man.
Done, bro. Done. We're going, and that'll be awesome. We get to go. We get to hang out with some actual hardcore wrestlers, hardcore fans. Be great.
So it'll probably take about how many hours to get to drive up there?
It's only 7.
7 hours. Probably
Yeah.
7 hours. Probably we'll probably get a day sleep. On Sunday. So in Sunday, right?
Well, Friday night is their weapons, and they give like they show us how they make their weapons and what they're going to use during the show. And then there's also Saturday is the day of the event, or part one of the event, and at the end of the night they're having another tournament, a shit tournament, um, and then at the end of that, then we get to go to sleep. Actually, they said there's like free like camping, so I'm not camping. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm too bougie for that shit, brother.
Dude, I'll pitch in for a hotel. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm screaming, dude. We'll get us a hotel room. I want to shower, bro. I don't want to smell like somebody just fell off the farm.
I don't want to smell like Mick Foley after a wrestling match and traveling to the next show.
Yeah, not me either.
Did you watch that video?
Dude, I watched that. I even heard
story about Mick Foley, how he was saving money. He had showered, put the same smelly clothes back on, and wrestle in that gear.
Yeah, and not even watch it. Not even watch it.
I remember him wearing that stuff that was his final years and everything. I remember. I'm just like, really, Mick? Come on, dude.
Dude,
I don't think you say with a family, but come on, don't sacrifice your hygiene, bro.
Yeah, and they said he would shower at the place if they had showers.
Oh my god! And I'm just like,
I hate to wrestle.
Even Triple H was like, Jesus Christ, Mick. But we all love Mick Foley, you know.
Oh yeah, everybody.
I don't care. I don't care if he smelled like crap. You know, he was a good guy. He was a pioneer for hardcore wrestling.
He really was. Well, him and Terry Funk and a couple others.
Also, let's see. You also got Abdullah the Butcher as well,
who was just inducted into the Deathmatch Hall of Fame by Matt Tremont.
He was one of the pioneers of deathmatch, and I hope he's doing a lot better now. A lot of WWE wrestlers are helping get back on his feet a little bit.
Well, I know he can't walk. I know he was walking around or riding around in a scooter deathmatch.
Yeah, he's in his 80s now, but he's pretty heavy now. So it's like
I'm just glad he still has his mind, man.
I mean, he still has a coherent mind and everything. I watched that episode of Dark Side of the Ring with him and everything. It was pretty quite educational. It just sucks what happened between him and Hannibal.
Oh man. Dude, Abdullah the Butcher, man. Him, the Sheik, and I'm talking the original Sheik, not the Iron Sheik, just the Sheik.
The nephew, the uncle of Sabu.
Yes, and a couple of other people, man, because of who they are, man. To me, they were grandfathers of this thing we call hardcore wrestling. If I recall correctly, Sheik was probably one of the first people to wrestle in a shark cage. You know,
I remember that.
Yeah, and that's crazy to think about, man. And a shark cage ain't really that big if you think about it. It's really not. And they had a match inside of a shark cage in the middle of a ring. And there was also other types of wrestling matches that happened. There was a guy that wrestled a bear just to get people to come to the shows, you know, and that was kind of creepy. If you think about if that bear went rogue, man, that dude's gonna be hurt bad. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean, man. Like there's even I think there was a band that they named it after that match called I Wrestled a Bear Once.
I wrestled a bear once, yeah. And I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things that's happened in wrestling, like the Texas Death matches, the no hold bars matches, which technically today, like Bully Ray has always said too, there's really no sense of having a no holds barred match because there ain't no barred match. There ain't no barred holds no more. That the pile driver's not barred no more or banned. dumping somebody off the top rope ain't banned no more, because now people use it as a cool move to go to another move. Power bombs aren't banned. Power drivers, what else ain't banned? I mean, there's nothing banned anymore, and
unless it's WWE though. But they're kind of bringing stuff back though, like at like before the Clash of the Castle, they brought back the vertebraker. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pile driver in another match, or like hell, we even saw like a burning hammer.
But you know, we'll never see in WWE the package pile driver.
They're saying it's too dangerous.
Hmm.
I can see, but it seems a lot safer than what Owen Hart did, though. I've seen Kevin Steen, aka
he did the spike.
Huh?
Owen Hart did a spike pile driver.
Yeah, those are the most dangerous pile drivers. From what I've seen, those the package pile drivers. I've seen Chase Owens pull it off. I've seen Kevin Steen pull it off, aka Kevin Owens pull it off.
What about the backbreaker? The top rope backbreaker with El Generico or Sami Zayn.
He even did a brainbuster on Gunther.
Top rope brainbuster.
I had never seen that in a while.
Well, I mean, he did that in Ring of Honor and PWG and CZW back in the day.
Oh, back in El Generico. Oh wait, we're breaking kayfabe. We're breaking the fourth wall. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, fuck it, dude. I mean, everybody knows everybody now is somebody different in WWE. Everybody knows.
You know what Rey Mysterio looks like without his mask?
No, dude. No, you don't. No. Yes. No, there ain't no way, bro. I remember in the 90s when he took his mask off, he looked like a little kid. I was like,
he was in his early 20s.
Dude, I was like, I'm older than this guy. I kept singing that to myself, dude, and I'm watching it. I'm like 17 years old. I can take him. I'm bigger than that guy. But then you sit there and watch him wrestle.
I'm taller than Rey Mysterio.
And then you see him wrestle, you're like, I take everything I just said back. I take it all back. There ain't no way I can wrestle that guy. That guy can wrestle moves around my moves. My clothesline be like watching 8-bit Super or 8-bit Nintendo, and he's running a freaking Xbox Series X back in the 90s, dude. You're
if you're like trying to kill what's his name? That one guy in GoldenEye.
Oh yeah. You mean the guy with the No, you're
Odd
talking.
Job.
Yeah.
It's like trying to kill Odd Job in GoldenEye.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck, dude. I mean, back then, dude, the best luchadors were in WCW. And as much people want to say what came first, the cruiserweights or the luchadors of ECW,
it was all these motherfuckers that always call it the flippy stuff. You know what? It's called Lucha Libre Cruiserweight Style Wrestling. Get it right, you little crybabies.
Well, the people who say that can't even they can't wrestle. They're too big to do that type of stuff.
They're just jealous. Like, or even Jim Cornette. I'm tired of him bitching about it. Like, you know, it's
flippy. Don't make no sense.
Lucha Libre in the Hardy Boys, highly inspired modern day wrestling.
Dude, and speaking of the Hardy Boys, how about TNA's freaking Against All Odds, bro?
That was pretty crazy. Like, I had a few people that were upset about it. They were upset about the booking because Scott's no longer there. And for those who don't know, I actually read that Scott Moore is still being paid by TNA, by Anthem. However, he's under a non-compete clause till early 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that kind of stupid.
But he can also do Border City Wrestling because it's not in the United States. He can do that in Canada.
I have a feeling, though, either because they know Anthem will know that either WWE will want him or AEW will want Scott D'Amore.
Dude, they'd be dumb not. Dude, even Brett Lauderdale would love to have Scott D'Amore, dude. Which I think would be great.
Tony Khan would love to have Scott D'Amore help him book, better shows. I think that's why he's kind of waiting. Tony Khan is because I know Tony Khan really needs an extra hand and everything. Because AEW has gotten a lot bigger the past 5 years. I mean, there's a lot more there because Tony Khan's a lot more a lot more overburdened now with like the booking,
Buying talents.
the shows and everything. It's gotten a lot bigger
Buying
than it has the past 5 years. Yeah, buying
He's buying.
talents. I mean, he bought wrestlers from WWE and New Japan.
Really buying. I mean, what about the Mace and Mansoor thing?
They may show. Oh yeah, I did hear about them maybe showing up in WWE, AEW on that.
Yeah, I mean, is that going to be a huge get though? I mean, honestly, is that really a huge get for AEW?
They're great talent. Just I don't think I don't think they were pushed well enough in WWE though.
The male models or something like that, male action models or something.
Because they're basically given a stupid gimmick. I mean, they were given a stupid gimmick by Vince McMahon. So what do you expect? It didn't even work, and it just made it.
Pretty Deadly don't even work either, man. I'm not a fan of those guys either. But they're over. Or they're pushing them to be over, but they're not over in my opinion.
I just think they were really giving them a shitty gimmick, but I heard they're getting really Mason Mansoor are getting really popular in indies though. They're building something though. I think
about Mason Mansoor?
Yeah, they're grinding their ass off in the indies. They're making something out of themselves, They're
Mansoor
just a stepping stone.
Yeah, Mansoor also did a bunch of stuff for Hood Slam as well.
I did see that, and I was like, I'm happy for them. They're actually grinding. They even did stuff with SGW as well.
Yeah, they went over to Soft Ground.
They went against the evil Lord White. That would be controversial over here in the States, man.
Well, I mean, if you listen to RJ City, he started calling out Jay White's new names and stuff, and White Lightning and all these things, and he's like, hey,
I'm not gonna say those.
He's like, stay to the Jays. You're good.
Stay to the Jays. We don't want any controversy right here.
Yeah,
I loved how they were all acting rowdy, and RGC was being calm during that.
And they destroyed his grandmother's coffee cups, and then they made him destroy one too.
Great. With the spray painted bat they stole from that Jay White stole from Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually Sting's baseball bat originally, but then he decided to make it the Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah, which, he was like, so how was splitting royalties with all the Bullet Club members? He's like, yeah, got pretty, yeah.
He's basically still, he's playing kayfabe. Like, he calls them, like, they kicked me out. I'm going to give him some payback, probably get some payback at Forbidden Door eventually.
Oh, dude. I would love to see Dave Finlay versus Jay White.
I know, man. I want to see Jay White get his revenge on Finlay.
Oh yeah, dude! I think that'd be a great match.
I mean, you got the leader of the Bang Bang Gang, aka BC Gold, versus BC War Dog.
How great would that be?
It'd be a great story to tell. I mean,
you just got a message.
Yep, that was on my messenger.
There he goes again.
I was frightened by him. That was my friend Suji.
Oh, they're watching us?
That's my friend Suji guy. No, it's my... Oh, yeah, he showed a picture of Undertaker playing his PlayStation 5. I was frightened by it, but I never thought I would see him like this. Yeah, my friend on Messenger was laughing at Undertaker playing PlayStation 5. Barefoot. Laid back. It's kind of funny. Like, I thought it was pretty interesting how Taker was playing video games. Back in my day, we didn't have the, blah, 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 blah. He was making fun of the modern day wrestlers, how they, in their video games, came from the old school locker room. I mean, I like the new school locker room. They don't really do much drugs or anything either. Most of them just take it easy in the backstreets, play video games more than they do, do drugs or anything. Well, unless you're Matt Riddle on certain things, but I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah. What did you think about Sidney Akeem? Sidney Akeem, also known as Reggie, last night.
I was like, I had a when I thought he was released and everything. I was right. He's gonna make a great. He's gonna grind his ass off in the wrestling business.
Dude, Jack Cartwheel is an amazing opponent for him. I'm sorry, dude. That just
You know what I like see him go against? Mike Bailey.
that would be great. But his very first time in GCW versus Jack Cartwheel was phenomenal.
I think
Cartwheel would give
I would be
anybody
surprised if if what's his real name? Reggie's real name again?
Sidney Akeem.
I wouldn't be surprised Sidney Akeem actually took some wrestling lessons. I mean, he already trained out the acrobatics of when he was in Circus du Soleil.
Circus du Soleil, or whatever it is.
Circus du Soleil, yeah, he was
the French circus people. That's what we'll call it because we're rednecks. Well, not rednecks. We're hillbillies. We're gonna call it what it is. They're
I'm a
French
dude. I'm a Southern dude from Mississippi. You know, I don't speak French.
It's that French Southern stuff, man. That where they do flippity flop flop stuff. You know.
Well, acrobatics, but
yeah, I know. Cirque du Soleil or something like that.
Cirque du Soleil, yeah. But that's pretty cool though. Like I actually found out back here when I was. I say, you know, when he left WWE, he's like now he's going to go become an actual wrestler. You know, like get more experience out there because, like I said, you know, the PLE is good and all, but I feel like the best experience on to become a wrestler is grinding through the indies.
Oh yeah, 100%. And he ain't doing nothing but soaring, dude. He's going to make a freaking rocket ship, dude. And if AEW doesn't sign him, they're dropping the ball because they can put him, dude. And no offense, I think they should actually have made not an X Division title or anything like that, or the Atlantic title or any of that. They should have changed one of those titles to like an actual workhorse title. Not even a lightweight. I wouldn't even go to lightweight. I would say
the workhorse champion.
I wouldn't call it the workhorse championship, but I would call it something similar to that. More like the I call it grindcore, dude, because that's what you're doing. They're grinding.
But I do like the international championship though.
I do like it. But the international championship has that intercontinental title feel, and the TNT title feels more like a TV title.
They're both mid-card championships.
Well, what about the continental title then?
Man, it's starting to feel it. I think they're just using it to get Okada over. You know, let him have a belt at least. You know, he hasn't really defended it though. But then again,
Why should he?
I mean,
who's out there worthy of that title?
Not many. I mean, Okada really earned it wrestling against Eddie Kingston.
The only other person I can see going for that title, and I know this is a big stretch, is Johnny TV or Dalton Castle.
That would actually be good on both of those. Like Dalton Castle, he actually did pretty good. He actually showed up on Collision last night. I'm actually happy about it.
He got beat badly.
And the fans weren't happy about that. I was disappointed too. I mean, that's good heat though.
He got beat by a CMLL guy, and the way he got beat was with a weird move, man. I ain't never seen that move in a long time since the 80s. It was cool though. I mean, and how did you like the Outrunners coming out with him as one of the boys? It's the boys, dude. Both of them.
Boys!
Dude, I was like, why are the Outrunners with him? And then even the commentary is like, oh yeah, that's the Outrunners that with him. I'm like,
well, don't forget. Well, TK fired his actual boys, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, they showed several appearances. They just said, "Fuck it, we're not going to be there."
Oh, that's what happens. You fuck around, you find out.
Hey, what happened to our paycheck? About that. It reminds me of that Office Space. Well,
TK did that?
Basically, dude. Like, showed an event.
About that. I think he said that on purpose, being a smartass. TK is a very smartass of what I've seen when it comes to like a lot of people, especially on Twitter. Like he told this guy to go fuck himself after calling him a racial slur.
Yeah, in a very nice way too.
And he basically gave him the Christian Cage, hugged him, said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the racial slur on here because I don't want to get nope. It was that comment was completely inappropriate, and I do not condone it.
Just like the old transphobia things, man. Whenever people go there and go, Nyla Rose has, and I'm like, wow, bro, really?
Does it really matter? I mean, this is Pride Month, man. Like,
well, they haven't done it recently. I'll admit that they haven't done it in years, but I think after they showed the example of the one person, everybody else was like, oh, we can't do that. Nope.
Yeah, I heard the guy got kicked out of the arena for that too. We're making a transphobe slurs towards
Nyla Rose.
Yeah, and like.
Dude. I mean, not only speaking of that though, man. I mean, WWE was just now recently talking about how they're bringing back signs at Clash of the Castle. Oh yeah, we're bringing back the fans. We won't be talking about the fans bringing back signs, and I'm like, I don't see that being a good idea.
Are you kidding? Like, some of those signs were pretty controversial back during the Attitude Era. Well, they were okay. They were, you saw them then, but now they haven't aged well.
Dude, some of them signs on the actual Peacock have been blurred out. I was like, what the fuck? Why? And if you go and Google some of those actual signs from the ECW days, like if you try to Google some of those signs or XPW days, you Google those signs, it don't age well, bro. Don't age well.
I saw this one. Well, this one where someone called Roman Reigns the tribal queef.
And dude, the coolest sign that was held up in Denver, Colorado Friday night was Weed Country. And
that was funny. There are still a lot of funny signs that going on. I thought it was pretty funny when NJS mom showed up to the sign, showed up with a few signs as well in AEW. I thought those signs were hilarious.
Yeah, like we don't support MJF.
I even see a few gamers saying like remastered this one over in AEW. I was like, what? This is so random. I'll tell you one of the most funny signs that probably still ages that probably has aged well is at a Raw show. These two guys were saying we'll wrestle for beer.
Yep,
that was still funny even after 20 something years.
That's great.
That's not even controversial. Like, that's just funny.
That's good shit.
It's hilarious. They're just two guys just having a good time. Just being random, just
being at a wrestling show.
Exactly, they're having fun.
Dude, I would love to go to see when I go to wrestling shows, man, and I get to actually have signs and shit. I want to have fun. You know what I'm saying?
I even saw people that saying today's my birthday as well. There's nothing wrong with that.
Or even a sign that says she said yes, and then another sign where she says I said maybe. Have you seen that? Dude, that was so great. She said yes. No, I said maybe.
I held a few wrestling signs. One time I tried drawing it. I drew when I was at a Nitro show, I drew one saying DDP, the other one said Hogan. Because, like DDP back then. He was one of my favorite wrestlers as a kid.
Dude, everybody loved DDP, dude.
Yeah. It was around the time when he was feuding with the New Blood and everything.
Yeah, the New Blood. Oh, man. That was part of the $1 Million Club, too, wasn't it?
It was Vince Russo's faction, if I'm correct.
Well, so was Triple X, too, dude. Triple X was Vince Russo's faction. They had AJ, Elite Skipper, Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels, I am still pissed off of these little fuckers that keep saying, "Hey, it's Adam Pearce on Wish."
Wow.
And I just commented and said, "Dude, show some fucking respect. That guy's a former world heavyweight champion. That guy's a fucking wrestling legend. How dare you?"
Dude, he's been around longer than most people been alive. Christopher Daniels is an icon. His best friend is AJ Styles. Another good friend of theirs is Frankie Kazarian. Those are two gentlemen.
I like him as the good guy authority figure. He's pretty awesome. I'm glad his eyes cleared out. It took a while for it to clear out all that bloodshot.
Oh, you're talking about Christopher Daniels?
Yeah, the eye. I never remember when he had that eye thing. He started acting all creepy during being the Elite. Boom.
Dude, CD, man, Christopher Daniels is by far one of the most over guys in the business.
I thought it was pretty funny. He was playing as the Authority, like heading down. I need you to sign these forms and everything. Like you said, all creepy. I need you to sign these forms. Like there. But you have your health care ready.
Here
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Thanks, Mr. T. Like Chris, and he just disappeared like Batman.
Christopher Daniels, dude, he has some of the best matches of his career in TNA. And
Oh yeah,
Samoa
I
Joe and
went
AJ
on
Styles.
YouTube and watched some of those matches. Those were bangers.
Samoa Joe AJ Styles match, the 3-way match.
I even watched some of his Ring of Honor matches as well.
Dude,
He went against Bryan Danielson.
Dude, Christopher Daniels is highly underrated.
He had one match. He had a few like matches on Velocity and Sunday Night Heat in WWE, though, if I'm correct.
He also was in WCW as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
So was AJ Styles.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard around that time though, around that time when WWE bought WCW, AJ didn't wait for his Time Warner contract to resign and just decided to go to TNA because of his wife was in college learning to be a teacher at that time.
Yep. And then
it all worked out in the end for him though.
And look where Mike Sanders ended up. Mike Sanders did great stuff in TNA as well.
That's a Bone Thrillers.
I love the MBTs, man. Everybody, a lot of people hated them, man. I love Natural Born Thrillers, man. They were good.
I kind of found them quite interesting. I know they came after Russo left WCW and everything.
Well, Vince Russo was there till the very last month or two. He was there almost the very end.
The whole thing is he kind of stepped back from that authority figure role to do more backstage stuff.
The last thing I remember Vince Russo on television is whenever he told Hogan to go fuck himself live on television.
Oh, because of creative. I want to go watch the death of WCW.
I can't. There's so much controversy around it. Ric Flair had controversial about it. Medusa has some controversy about it. A lot of people have been talking bad about it. Not necessarily about who killed WCW, but who don't want to take the blame. They all put the blame on somebody else, man. And nobody wants to
blame Russo, Bischoff, and what's his name?
Nash?
Not Nash. It was another guy. It was like one of the early guys that ran WCW. The reason why Ric Flair left and defected to WWF around the early 90s.
Mm-hmm. And people just
world heavyweight title as well. That's the reason why they changed the WCW.
They had to, because back in the day, the way I was explained to, the owner of the belt had to pay $25,000 to have the belt. $25K. That's a lot of fucking money.
Especially nowadays, man.
You had to buy the belt basically to have to be pushed as champion. You had to have that money ready at the go. And then they're like, okay, we're going to put you as champion. Boom, here you go. And whenever you lose that title, they give you that money back.
So it's kind of like a deposit.
Yeah. They want to see how committed you are to the actual run of you being champion. So when they did that and Ric Flair did all this, then they whatever, they did what
he didn't get his deposit back.
So he's like, okay, then you have until this date, and then if you don't pay me, I'm gone.
And he took the belt. He took his ball and go home. He took his belt and went home.
He called. From what I understood, he called Vince McMahon and said, "Hey, you have a spot for me?" And Vince said, "Sure." Well, what's happening? And he told him the story, and he's like, "Yeah, we could use that." And
that's a good shit.
Well, if you remember, for the longest time, they blurred the title out on WWF television because they had to.
Because of copyright issues.
Copyright issues, yeah, from NWA. And then when at the pay-per-views, they showed the title. I was like,
oh. Then they replaced the title with the fake one afterwards.
Yeah. But he walked around with that title even after he lost that title. He walked around with that title.
That was a good gimmick. He was glowing as the real world heavyweight champion,
Dude.
and it was a great storytelling.
It was great. And then they were supposed to have him versus Hogan, and it never came to fruition because they said at house shows it wasn't, tickets weren't selling.
I guess
Jokes on them.
Where's the Hogan? Wasn't gonna work for me, brother.
It wasn't gonna work for me, brother. Yeah, exactly, man.
I thought it was funny when Hikaru Shida mimicked that on Hey EW. It was funnier when she did it though. That doesn't in her British accent. Because she speaks English, she has that British accent.
Yeah.
You know the reason why? Because she learned how to speak English through Harry Potter books.
Yeah. But she's really good, man. And the whole ordeal, though, man, behind the everything that's going on in wrestling today it's
crazy.
But everybody wants to talk about the old days, man. Like, do you remember in the 90s, nobody gave a fuck about the 70s or the 60s? They didn't give a fuck about the 80s.
And now they're just talking about, like, it's like...
Everybody wants to talk about the 90s. Everybody wants to talk about the 90s. Everybody wants to talk about the 90s. Dude.
The 90s are gone, man.
They were the best years.
I love the Attitude Era, I love nostalgia and everything, but we got them... A lot of those wrestlers are dead and gone. A lot of these guys are older now. I'm not... Some people got to realize... Some people got to grow up and everything. Wrestling's changing, evolving. Even I took a while to accept the changes and everything. I realized even the fact that I'm almost 38 years old, I'm not a 12-year-old kid anymore. It's not the Attitude Era. It's not 1998 anymore.
Dude, but most people want to sit there and talk about, well, wrestling hasn't been the same since
Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, dude, I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. I love the things he did. I love what The Rock did. I love what Taker did. I love what these guys did. I love what the Hardys did. I love what the guys in ECW did. I love what the guys in all the companies did. And I love the fact that China, Trish Stratus, and Lita made way for the modern day women's wrestling we have. I even like the fact that we're more exposed to Japanese pro wrestling. I like the different styles. We're in a whole new level of pro wrestling. This is a great time to be a professional.
Women's wrestling now, dude, is the new men's wrestling of the 90s. I hate to say that. It's the truth. What? I mean, look, the women's wrestling today is the men's wrestling of the 90s now. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
I mean, you have all these other promotions sit here talking about, oh, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. And you have the men's wrestlers saying, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. You got CM Punk over there in WWE. You have Will Ospreay in AEW. You have Moose in TNA. You have whoever the fuck they got today for the flavor of the month in NWA. We'll go there. Who cares? But, and then
EC3.
I don't want to talk about him. I have my issues with EC3. No offense to anybody who likes EC3. I have my own offense with.
I don't think he's a bad wrestler at all. I just think he's being grumpy and bitter.
I have my issues with him, and it stems from outside the ring, and that's why I'm going to leave it at that.
Kind of like my issue with CM Punk.
Kind of, yeah. But women's wrestling, you have Stardom, you have Joshi Pro, you have the place over there where Rossi's at called Marigold, you have WWE, you have AEW, you have Ring of Honor, you have NXT, you have NWA, you have TNA, you have MLW.
A few independent promotions. I think there's this one called what's it called? It's run by Bull Nakano. She's the commissioner of it. It's called. It's sort of like the Joshi promotion, but they come here in America. I forgot. I forgot the name of it.
You said it's all women too.
Akibano.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me end this hour. Boom.
What is it called again?
We're good. Well, we can still talk, man. Just ending that hour. I don't plan on us staying live like we normally do. Oh, there you go. Plan on us being live, but I thought we could talk a little bit more about other stuff too. We could highlight some of the shows that's already happened, like
Oh,
against all.
Sukeban. Yeah, that's the name. It's called Sukeban.
All right, cool. And I don't think we should. I think we should go live for about what, another 30 minutes,
Why not?
and then we'll head over till Tuesday night, and we'll talk more about other stuff on Tuesday night.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I won't be here. I won't get out of work till like 10 p.m. Tuesday night.
Okay,
We can do it late.
I'm cool. Like we did last Tuesday, man. We did late last Tuesday, didn't we?
Think so. Hold on,
Yeah,
let me
10
check.
o'clock. I'm cool with that, man. I mean, I don't mind. But since we're a man down, I think we should end it kind of early because of the fact that we're a man down.
Man
And
down.
and if you're looking for another man to get on your podcast or whatever, go to W Energy. Get 10%.
Hey.
Get 10% off. Use Ringside Rants as your code. We would appreciate it. W will appreciate it. Also, they have really good flavors. I really love their watermelon lemonade hydration flavored. I still haven't found out about the energy drinks itself. I don't drink energy drinks. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I still have the other hydration. It's called Pine Berries. I don't know if I'm gonna like pineapple and strawberry mixed. I'm not a big pineapple fan. I'm gonna be real. But other than that, I think it's cool. And you just posted us in live in oh wait, no you didn't. You did the cool.
What?
Love it. Love it. About the Tony Storm thing, that's cool.
But
But
what?
about the Tony Storm, about the Sunset Boulevard and all that.
Oh yeah, she's highly inspired by that stuff.
Yeah. And then I want to talk about something kind of crazy, man. We don't really talk about a lot of shows that happen or are happening here lately. But we do talk about things that's already happened in the past. Like, what about the fact that we should talk about what's a good company here lately that I've been really trying to get involved with? Not involved with per se, but try to bring some of their talent on here and talk to them. We've been bringing some XP. We brought an XPW guy on. We brought. Speaking of, remember Leslie was on here a couple of weeks ago. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Leslie.
Yeah, dude, she has been blowing up, dude. She has been blowing up.
Veronica, hell yeah, dude. I kind of
Yeah,
like
dude.
she went from Ashley. She changed her gimmick, went from that that baddie, kind of more
Yeah. The Vira Lestrange, which is really cool, dude. And she's been getting a lot of promotions, picking her up and doing things with her, which I find.
I thought it was kind of funny that another person who will not be named tried to get us canceled. Cancel this.
Dude, I mean, be honest though, man. I mean, in all fairness, I take everything anybody says with a grain of salt now. Until it's actually done, then that's whenever I try to make it a little bit better. If you know what I'm saying, I try to make it a little bit better. Because anybody can do anything and say anything and get away with it.
It's the internet. Anyone can get away with murder these days.
Yeah, literally. And the sad part about it is I know the difference between real and fake. And I try to keep everything 100% real. Like I said, the lines are always open for them to come on here and we can sit here and debate who's right, who's wrong from sun up to sundown if they want
to. Which promotion's better, I mean,
it ain't about promotion.
You
It ain't about promotions anymore. I'm talking about that whole thing about being canceled thing. Like I said, the whole thing is wide open. I'm not throwing any shade. If you think you're completely 100% right on everything you said and everything you stand behind and you want to go on that hill and die on it, bring it to the forefront, brother. The wide open game is all yours.
I'll tell you one thing. I know a certain place I'm not going to be allowed into anymore.
But I mean, you should be. I mean, that has nothing to do. Hell, even Kelly was even mentioning, "Hey, brother, I want you to know first and foremost, I'm gonna go there and do this, that, and the other." I said, "Dude, my beef,
You went to check out the place?
my beef, and that if they don't accept you, that's on them. But if it has anything to do with me, don't feel bad like I'm gonna hate you. No. If anybody
I'm
tells me
not
you're
gonna
there, but
feel
yeah,
bad.
dude,
I'm not gonna speak over. They're gonna be petty about me and everything, because I do a podcast with you and everything. I mean, that's their pettiness, I'm not gonna lose sleep over that shit.
dude,
I have better than
they may not, Phil. They may not. They may embrace you in open arms. You never know. I mean, I wouldn't sit there and say they wouldn't.
I'd be careful though, like you never know. A lot of people are two-faced these days, man.
Dude, a lot of people are stab me in the back in a heartbeat. Oh, do you know about this? Bro, you watch the podcast, you know everything. You're in the podcast, you know everything. And the people that I know that talk bad about me, they watch.
Well, one of those their fans called me a cuck.
Oh, dude. Besides the point of that, they can say anything they want to whenever they're not within 5 feet of me. But when they get in 5 feet of me, all this turns into you can hear crickets, brother. Because they know whenever I'm in the building or I'm in their face, I'm not there to talk no more.
Dude, I hear crickets. I'm hearing crickets right now outside my window.
You see what I'm saying, though? I mean, but what I'm trying to get to them, though, is if they ever want to talk bad about me, just do it here. Because everybody you go to knows about me. They know everything. Do you talk bad about me to people that used to be in the building with you? You talk about me behind my back to other people that you think that don't even fucking know me? You talk bad about me behind my back to everybody else, and the people that do know me, you worried about what they're going to come back and tell me. I don't need to know what you're going to tell them because I already know what you're going to say because you said it to every single person the same way. Oh, do you know he's a felon? Do you know what he did? You don't even have a clue what I did or didn't do. And it never happened. And it never happened. I was found guilty of a crime I didn't even fucking commit. But by all means, use it. That's all you have on me. But I would love for you to come on here and debate your truth against my truth. So, and that's the way I feel about it. But if you try to cancel somebody because of what they say on a public forum, you're more than welcome to join the public forum. I'll even back off of it. I will stay completely away from it. I won't even be on here. I'll let Phil and Josh take over. I'll even take the night off. That way you don't have to worry about me saying anything against you. But
I can't believe some motherfuckers still call me a 600-pound can't talk fucking motherfucker. Like, why do you spy on my profile in the first place, you fucking sicko?
Phil, take it as a compliment, bro. There's a guy on here, dude, on a lot of my profiles and stuff. I don't know if you remember him or not, but oh yeah, you're a clown. You're a clown. You're a clown. Dude, it's a hard job to call somebody a clown when you're over the internet. And it's not
I must have really struck some nerves, didn't I?
Who knows?
It's because these little geeks need to touch some fucking grass, man. I swear, like, it's just wrestling. I just given off my opinion. You don't have to attack me for it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think we should end this here, right here, before we go any further craziness. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging out with us tonight, ringside rant style. And if you're not listening to us, you're what?
You're doing life wrong.
Yes. And we're not just food for you to eat, man. We're also food for
your ears, bro.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And Phil, I'm not trying to cut us off shortly, but I have to make an important phone call. And this right here just came through. So with that being said, tune in Tuesday night. We'll be live as usual. We might go a little bit later.
We'll go a little later because they have me scheduled from 1 to. My job has me scheduled from 1 to 10 which includes the break, but just.
You're good, brother. You're good. Go take care of your day, man.
Let's go get some extra sleep.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. But also, take well, brother, and we'll see you Tuesday night. Love you, everybody. Deuces.
Good night.
Don't go nowhere yet, dude. Don't go nowhere. Me end this real fast.